Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to my online class. Hope all of you are very fine. By the grace of Allah, I am also fine. Today, I am going to teach you about fill in the gaps with right form of verbs. Most often you face this question in different examinations, especially in admission test. I know your admission test for university and medical and engineering will be held very soon. So, I am going to give you this class for the students of admission test. Those who are going to take part in the in the admission test of different universities or medical colleges and engineering. For English, you will face this type of question, use the right form of verbs and fill in the gaps. It will be also helpful for the students of HSC and SSC level. So, I have made a lecture for you. These are some sentences. I have wrote 10 sentences here for you, and I will try to explain the rules and fill the gaps with right form of verbs. You have to use the right form of verbs in the gaps in the examination, either maybe with clues or without clues. These sentences will be in the examination either with clues or without clues. So, I will try to help you to do this without clues. If you face in the examination without clues, then it will be helpful for you. So, let us start, my dear students. The first one is, I am looking forward to dash you. So, you know the rule, or if you do not know, I will explain it now. That is, looking forward to. It is a phrase. Look forward to. And it is in continuous form. So, you know that after looking forward to or look forward to, we shall use the verb with ing form, ing. That is, if I use any verb, we shall add ing with it. So, it will be, I am looking forward to seeing you. You can use this verb, seeing you. I am looking forward to. That is, I am waiting for seeing you, or I am eagerly looking forward to, I am eagerly waiting or expecting to see you. So, the rule is, after look forward to or looking forward to, we will use ing form with verb plus ing. Then the second sentence is, the tall gentleman dashed by the door is the bank manager. It's the second sentence. So, let me explain it. The tall gentleman dashed by the door. Then I have to make a verb here. So, if I put any verb here, I have to add ing with the verb. But why? There is one principal verb. The tall gentleman dashed by the door is. There is one principal verb, but it is a simple sentence. So, you know it very well. The followers and viewers of my channel, you know it very well. In a simple sentence, we can use only one principal verb. Only one principal verb is already here. This is. So, we cannot use another principal verb here because it is a simple sentence. So, we have to use a verb, but it will be in the participle form, that is non-finite form, not finite verb, not principal verb. It will be in non-finite verb. So, you know, non-finite verb may be present participle or gerund or infinitive, but we have to use here a present participle. The gentleman standing, we can use standing. Who is standing? Standing. The gentleman is standing. The one man is standing by the door and he is the manager. So, here it is a simple sentence. That's why we cannot use two principal verbs. That's why we are using ing form and make it and we have made it a gerund. Present participle. Make it a present participle and it will be a simple sentence. So if you use any other verb, then you have to use ing form, that is present participle form. Next one, the building dash of bricks. The building dash of bricks. You know, when the subject is inactive in any sentence, here the subject is inactive. That is, this building cannot do any work, and then it is built by others. So we have to make the passive form of the sentence as the subject is inactive here. So the building is or was, you can use present or past here, no problem, but we have to make it passive form, passive voice, because the subject cannot do the work here or the subject is inactive. So the building is, we can use the verb made. The building is made of bricks. That means the building cannot make itself. Someone else or some other people have made the building. That's why we have to make the passive voice. If you followed my previous lectures, you can understand it very clearly. It is passive form. That's why we have to make in this way. The bullet train dash at 200 miles an hour. 200 miles an hour. You know it is a very simple sentence. The bullet train, it is regular work of a train. It runs always. So I have told you the answer. The bullet train, it always moves. That's why we will use runs or moves at 200 miles per hour. Why there will be s with the verb? Because the subject is third person singular number. A train, it's a train, one singular number, and it's third person. So we have to use s with the verb and it's present indefinite tense. The next one is, what are you dash now? And you can see the question mark here, sign of interrogation, question mark. So we have to make it a question. You can see that there is already WH pronoun here, interrogative pronoun here, WH word. What are you dash now? We can ask someone, what are you doing now? That is, what are you? There is auxiliary already. Then we have to make ing, doing, continuous tense. In order to make continuous tense, we have to use auxiliary verb plus ing with the principal verb. Then it will be a present continuous tense, and the question will be, and it will be an interrogative sentence. What are you doing now? But why we have to make it continuous? Because there is now. If there is any word like this, now or just now, we have to, at this moment or now, we have to make it present continuous tense. I want to know the work, what he is doing. I want to know the activities. That's why we have to make it. Someone is doing something. That's why I have to make it. We have to make it continuous tense. He dashed from fever for 3 days. That's a very interesting and very easy type of question. Don't worry seeing a long sentence. Just follow what is there in the sentence. There is for 3 days. It's a period of time. Period of time means for how many days? For 3 days. It's a period of time. So if there is period of time or point of time, and there is the time is mentioned in the sentence, the time for how long or how many, when the work started or for how long the work is going on, we have to make it present perfect continuous tense. If there is time, if time is mentioned in the sentence, we can understand that he is suffering from fever, he suffers from fever or he is suffering from fever, but the work is going on for 3 days, so we have to make it present perfect continuous tense. You know the rule. He, after he, it will be has been, as because he is a third person singular number. He has been, then we have to use ing form suffering. Suffering from fever for 3 days. He has been suffering from fever for 3 days. As there is 3 days, we have to make present perfect continuous tense. We reached the station after the train. After and before. Use of after and before. The next sentence. After and before, if you see here, after and before in a sentence, we can understand very clearly that it will be past perfect tense. It will be past perfect tense if we see after or before. Now the question is where and when we will use the past perfect form. Past perfect is the structure of past perfect. You know, if we use after, we shall use the structure of past perfect in the second clause, that is after the use of after. And if we use before, then we have to make the past perfect form in the first clause, first part of the sentence or first clause of the sentence. So here is past indefinite tense. In the first clause, we can see the past indefinite tense. We reached the station. Then our second clause will be after the train had left. If as there is after, we have to make the past perfect tense in the second clause, and if there were before, then we have to make this past perfect form in the first clause. I think it's clear to you. The second sentence, the breeze dashed over the river, it is also a passive voice. It will be also a passive voice because the breeze is a subject that cannot do any work, that is inactive subject. So we have to make it passive. So breeze, what we do? We built or we make a breeze. Then we have to write here the breeze was built or made. Built over the river or made over the river, because the bridge was built by some other person or someone else. So it is a passive form. It will be in the passive voice because the bridge cannot build it itself. The bridge was built by someone else. That's why it will be in the passive form. Then the next sentence, had I the wealth of a king. These two sentences are very confusing for the examining, any kind of examining. Either he is a college student or he is an admission student. For both of them, these are very confusing sentences. So I'll explain it very clearly to you, and I hope you will be attentive and try to understand it. In my experience, I saw a lot of students, but most of the students, even they got A+ in English, they face difficulties with this problem. So be careful about the use of this sentence. This is, had I the wealth of a king. It means if I had the wealth of a king. In Bengali we can say jodi amar ekjon rajar moto সম্পদ থাকতো. So had I the wealth of a king means if I had the wealth of a king. Here this had has two meanings, that is if and verb to have in the past form, and we can say that it's a past indefinite tense. Past indefinite tense because had here is the principal verb. Had is the principal verb because there is no other verb here without had. So this is principal verb and it's past indefinite tense. and it makes double meaning. Double meaning means if and have, verb to have. Had I the wealth of a king, that means if I had the wealth of a king, then the next clause, in the next clause, we should use would, W-O-U-L-D, would plus verb, the base form or present form of the verb. So it will be I would. It's a must. You have to bring would in this type of sentence. If plus past indefinite tense, you have to bring the auxiliary, model auxiliary would. Would dash the condition of the poor people. If I would be, if I had the wealth of a king, I would change. I can use the word here, change the condition of the poor people. So the rule is, if there is past indefinite tense, after if we have to use would, model auxiliary would, then the base form of the verb. So it will be like this. You have to make would plus verb, and the next sentence it will be more elaborated. That is, had you informed me earlier. That is past perfect tense. How it is past perfect tense? There is had auxiliary verb and informed principal verb. Had you informed me earlier, then we have to bring the auxiliary verb would have in the second clause. I would have. I would have dash the program. So I would have joined or attended the program. Attended. I would have attended the program. Had you informed me earlier. Now I am going to explain it. This is past perfect tense. Here is also the meaning of had is if. If you had informed me. If I use this sentence in if plus past perfect tense, then it will be like this: if you had informed me earlier. Here had also has double meanings. Here there are double meanings of had. That is if plus auxiliary verb had. So it is, if you informed me earlier. Instead of this sentence we can say had you informed me earlier, same meaning. So it is past perfect tense. If the first clause is past perfect tense, we have to bring would have auxiliary would have, then the past participle of the principal verb. Here is attended. Past participle is the principal verb. I would have attended the program. So if you face this type of question, use these rules. This is also called conditionals. If you learn the rules of conditionals clearly, then it will be very easy for you to solve this question. And I have this experience that this type of sentence there will be maybe one or two in the examination. The rules of conditionals. So practice it very carefully and attentively. So no more today. Thank you very much for watching my class, and if you find my class helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.